Nestled on the edge of Liverpool, where the River Mersey meets the sea breeze, stands a house of half-timbered charm and Tudor mystery, Speke Hall. With its black and white gables, latticed windows, and ancient priest holes, this house has watched over Merseyside for over 4 centuries, surviving war, Reformation, and the rising tide of industrialization. Join us today as we explore Speke Hall, not just a house, but a living story, rich with tales of intrigue, faith, and a surprising visit by one of the 19th century's most provocative artists. Let's go back to the beginning. Speke Hall was built by the Norris family, beginning in 1530. At that time, the world outside these walls was fracturing. England under Henry VIII was breaking from Rome, and the question of faith divided neighbour from neighbour. The Norrises, devout Catholics, constructed their home not just for comfort and prestige, but also for survival. The house we see today was completed by 1598. Its timber-framed architecture is distinctly Tudor, but its defensive features hint at a darker purpose. There's a secret priest hole above the Great Hall, where Catholic priests could hide during raids. And then there's the ingenious observation hole above the front porch, allowing the occupants to peer down unseen at whoever might be knocking at the door. In many ways, Speke Hall is a house of contradictions. It is beautiful and refined, filled with carved oak panels, rich tapestries, and elegant furniture. But beneath its charm is a legacy of fear and resistance. For nearly 100 years, it was a sanctuary for the old faith, concealed behind ornate facades. The Norris family held Speke Hall for over 3 centuries. But by the 18th century, the house was falling into neglect, its grandeur fading along with its fortune. Liverpool was booming. The Industrial Revolution had arrived, and the city was transforming into one of the busiest ports in the world. Amidst this bustle, Speke Hall stood quiet and almost forgotten, a crumbling relic of a different age. Then, in 1795, the estate passed to the Watt family, descendants of James Watt, the great engineer. It was a new chapter for Speke, and the house slowly began to reawaken. But it wasn't until the mid-19th century that Speke Hall found its saviour. That role fell to Mrs. Adelaide Watt, the last private owner of the hall, and a woman of deep attachment to its history. She inherited the house in 1878, at just 21 years old, and devoted her life to preserving it. It was during her tenure that Speke Hall welcomed an unusual guest, none other than James McNeill Whistler, the famed American-born artist, best known for Whistler's Mother and his pioneering role in the aesthetic movement. Whistler visited Speke Hall in the 1890s. He had been invited as a guest of the social circle that gathered around Adelaide Watt, artists, thinkers, and society figures who found the ancient hall a welcome retreat from the smoke and speed of modern life. To Whistler, Speke Hall was more than picturesque. It was a masterpiece of atmosphere. The interplay of shadow and light through its mullioned windows, the stillness of the panelled rooms, the hush of time pressed into every beam. This was a house that breathed the very ideals of his art. Though he didn't paint Speke itself, Whistler wrote admiringly of the visit in letters, noting the house's melancholy grace and its quiet dignity. It's easy to imagine him, sketchbook in hand, lingering in the garden court or pacing the long gallery as the evening light faded through the stained glass. The gardens, too, were a delight to Victorian visitors. Adelaide had restored them to something approaching their Tudor glory, with formal walks, clipped hedges, and an orchard blooming in spring. The setting, so close to the river, yet so serene, was perfect for contemplation and creativity. For Whistler and others, Speke Hall was not just a country house. It was a retreat from the noise of the age, a place where the past still whispered in every floorboard. Adelaide Watt lived at Speke Hall until her death in 1921. She left the estate in trust with strict instructions for its preservation. During World War II, the surrounding parkland was used by the RAF and later became Liverpool Airport, but the hall itself was spared. In 1942, it passed to the National Trust, and its quiet guardianship began. Today, Speke Hall is one of the best preserved Tudor houses in Britain. Its rooms are filled not with dust, but with stories. Stories of recusant faith, of female determination, of artistic inspiration. And though planes may now fly overhead, inside the hall you can still feel the stillness that so captivated James McNeill Whistler. The harmony of proportion, the play of light, the poetry of a place suspended in time. So whether you come for the history, the beauty, or just to stand for a moment in the silence of centuries past, Speke Hall welcomes you. A house where shadows dance on timbered walls, and every corner has a tale to tell.